There seems to be a bit of a kind of push, kind of a trend lately where a lot of women are starting to wear men's colognes again. And I highly recommend men wearing men's colognes. Just because women are wearing them doesn't mean that men shouldn't be wearing them, because that's a risk. When women really flock to a certain scent that's designed for men, then all of a sudden it becomes too feminine for men to actually wear themselves. And so we don't want that to happen. We like our men to smell like the colognes that are designed for them. But a recommendation that I have, if you do like to do that, if you like a little bit more of a male scent, but don't want to go too far overboard, or don't really like the strong pine scents that tend to come with a lot of male scents, my recommendation would be Black Suede by Avon. And for men who aren't familiar with this scent, it's kind of similar to Obsession for Men, which happens to be probably one of my all-time favorite sort of smells on a man. It's very similar to that, a little bit softer and a little bit maybe spicier, I would say. I don't know, spicier isn't really the word that I'm going for, because it is just so similar, just slightly different to Obsession for Men. So I highly recommend Black Suede for a man. I don't know about other ladies, but men's colognes, to me, most of them are way too strong, or they just plain old stink. I don't know what you guys think about that, but I really go for, and I'm really attracted to, and I love to smell on a man, the lighter scents that are more of a musk based and a little bit softer, less woodsy, piney, grassy, and more just plain old more musk, just softer. I like that. So this is a really good scent and much cheaper than Obsession for Men, for women or men who like that sort of a smell and who are a little bit taken aback or off-put by the extremely strong scents that are available for men. For ladies who are just looking for a little bit of a twist on a feminine scent, or don't like the super, super, super sweet scents that are marketed towards women, don't like the food-smelling perfumes that are marketed towards women, aren't particularly fans of floral perfumes, I would suggest this if you just like a little bit more of a masculine scent. At least Lisa D1 has been talking a lot lately about being more attracted to a little bit more of a masculine scent. This is one that I would recommend to her as well, based on her previous recommendations on smells that she likes. So if you have any questions about it, let me know. I apologize, I'm not the greatest at as far as breaking down how something smells, but if you have questions, I will do my best to answer them and try to work that out for you. If you have other male cologne scents that you recommend for the ladies to wear as well, let me know, because I am interested in that, and I'm kind of in a kick here lately with that type of thing, and I'm actually wearing this scent today and sharing it with all my guy friends that I come around with too, because they like to play with my colognes when I see them.
Oh, I'm happy with mine.
What'd you get, Jenny? Or is yours all gifts?
Well,
Yours is a lot of gifts, I think, isn't it?
Yeah, they are, but I don't know how many people on there. But every year I always get little lotions to put in grab bags for the managers I work with.
You get the little Christmas ones. They're cute.
Yeah, and my favorite one is the silicone gloves.
Mm-hmm.
I love those. Those are my favorite. Which I got bigger ones.
The big ones.
Yeah, to give as gifts too. I got 3 myself, and I probably almost threw 1 bottle from when I got it 2 weeks ago. So I absolutely love this stuff.
There you go.
So I'm glad they did it in bigger.
Too bad they don't. They need to make it in a body lotion.
Yeah, and then I also got, I we also got the lip
Oh, the little
balm.
chapstick.
Yeah, the chapsticks, which these I really like more than like the ones you get over the counter. They're not like candly, waxy.
They're softer.
Type.
They're softer, aren't they? Yeah.
Because the ones I got last year, I find myself using more, and I'm not big on these. And I really liked them. They didn't feel waxy or anything. So these they're really good.
Yay.
And I always like them because they're cheaper than the things you can buy at the counter most of the time.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. So.
I gave those as gifts last year. I'm probably going to give them again this year because I had a whole bunch too. Because they were a good price. We're all going to give them to you.
Yeah.
So if you have a special one that you like, just let me mention it during our meetings and we'll just, then we'll know exactly what you want.
Here's the gift sets for the nail polish.
Oh.
That's the one, Midnight Plum, but this is,
So and is it
there's
just
options.
like, you didn't have to put like lots of coats on.
No, this is 2 coats. This is 2 coats that I did Thursday night.
$20.
Yeah.
Boy, you did good.
Yeah. I got all the deals.
You did. I started making my check out to Avon. I don't think that would go very well.
Yeah, I did, this is 2 coats, no base coat, no top coat, and I did it Thursday, and I have done nothing but clean and move stuff around and beat them up all weekend, so. Okay, so the other day I was talking to you guys about a cologne, and I said, I apologized, and I said, I'm sorry, but I'm not very good at describing scents. Well, that was a lie. The truth is, I was just being lazy in that, I didn't want to take the few minutes to really work out the smells in my head. And after I made that video, I was watching another guru on YouTube who, she's younger than me. She's a little bit younger. She's probably a lot younger than me, but in general, she's a younger girl. And she does a lot of candle videos. She does makeup stuff and a lot of nail polish and stuff too, but she's really into candles. And she was doing a haul video for soaps, I think. And I don't want to say who it is because, she's a nice girl and I'm not trying to be insulting. Something that I became aware of. So I was watching her video and she was saying how she felt that she was really good for doing those kind of hauls and reviews because she's really good at describing scents. And I've seen a lot of her videos before. I'm subscribed to her and I watch every video of the people that I'm subscribed to. And so I was like, oh, well, I need to pay more attention. Let me pay attention to this really closely and see how she does it. And then, maybe I can kind of work on being a little better at it. So I started watching, and she would basically pull out a product, and she would say, okay, well, this is supposed to be mint chocolate. And so she would smell it, and she would say, oh, I really smell mint, really good smell of mint. And then she'd say, oh, and I really pick up the chocolate, probably more mint than chocolate, but I definitely smell chocolate. And then she would say, it reminds me of those mint chocolate cookies that you get. And then she would pull out another one and she would say, and she would be a little more descriptive about what it reminded her of, but she would pull out another one and she would say, okay, this is candy apple. No, this is caramel apple. We'll say this is caramel apple. And she would say, oh, I definitely smell the caramel, smells really good, smells so much like caramel. Oh, and I really smell apple, it's the sharpness of an apple. And then she would say, it smells just like a caramel apple, when you first open the package. And she might get descriptive about, when you first open the package of caramel apples and you smell that caramel right away. And as I kept watching, I actually got irritated because I was like, you know what, she's really not describing the scents. She's reading the label, which tells her what it's supposed to smell like. So, caramel apple, okay, well, it's supposed to smell like caramel apple. So she would point out that she smells the caramel and she smells the apple. Well, that's the 2 words in the title. And then she would compare it to a caramel apple. And I kind of was like, while she is descriptive in saying, it smells just like a caramel apple out of the package or whatever, that's a little bit descriptive, but I know it's supposed to smell like a caramel apple, so that doesn't really help me very much. And the truth of the matter is there's tons of different kinds of caramel apple. So let's take, caramel for instance. I mean, there are some caramels, like you can talk about caramel icing, which to me is a very sickly sweet smell. It's not a smell that I like in candles or perfumes or anything like that. It almost smells like maple icing, like those maple icing donuts. And it's just too sweet for me. But then there's caramel like, the wrapped caramel candies that you buy, and that's a much more pleasant caramel smell. And then, there's just variations on what caramel smells like. And there's variations on what apple smells like. A red apple smells very different from a green apple. Green apples have a sourness to them. So, the more I listened, I kind of got irritated. And I was like, that really isn't that helpful. I mean, you're basically describing what's already on the package. And I think candles are much easier to describe than perfume is. I mean, you can read what the notes are, so that can help you. But, candles are more specific scents where, perfumes are lots of scents blended together. And sometimes the names on the packages are practically made up as far as what the base notes or the top notes are anyway. I mean, they get very descriptive about what the ingredients are, probably to make it harder for someone to, replicate the smell, but, that makes sense to me. But anyway, it's really kind of important to know in detail what the scent is really like. So after I really was paying attention to that, trying to improve my ability to describe scents to you, and got irritated, I thought, okay, here's my little sign that I need to do better at that. So this is me telling you, long story longer, that I'm going to try to do better about describing scents for you, because it is really important. I'm pretty good about comparing scents. I can give you, I'm really good about taking a less expensive fragrance and comparing it to something that's more expensive, so that you're able to say, okay, I really love that more expensive perfume, but it's just not in my price range, so this would be a decent equivalent that I can actually afford. I'm good at that, but I can definitely do better about actually describing the scents. So I'm going to try and promise and take more time and not be lazy and actually try my best to do a better description of the smells and the scents for you. And so hold me to that. Don't let me get lazy. I'll try to do better at that. And I probably will go back and pull out the black suede and really take some time and try to really describe it to you. I did compare it to Obsession for Men, and I do think it's a really good comparison to Obsession for Men. And Obsession for Men is, it's a more expensive. I mean, you're going to buy it at department stores and, places that are a little more expensive. You might be able to get it at Walmart and that kind of thing too, but it's still going to be a little more expensive. So, do you want to spend somewhere in the $50 to $90 range for a cologne, or do you want to spend something in the, $20 to $40 range for a cologne that smells very similar? A lot of people right now can only afford the cheaper version. So I'm pretty good about that. I already know that I can say, this is very similar. So I'll be good already about trying to give you guys comparisons, but I will try my best to do a better job at really describing the smell, because just telling you it smells like a caramel apple isn't really that helpful, especially if you're picky about how caramel smells. So I'm going to do better. Okay, bye.